Tonight, we're talking about a shakeup on the Pasco City Council, what happens next for the city's District 6, and taking an in-depth look at a growing trend of small towns losing their local police departments.
And I'm tracking another beautiful night with seasonal early fall-like conditions and a weekend warm-up. I'll get to all of that in your First Alert weather forecast.
This is Apple Valley News Now at 5 on your side.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Alyssa Warner. People from all over the Tri-Cities could see the smoke from a large fire at Bateman Island this afternoon. Take a look at this. Fire crews from Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, and Benton County responded. And we've now learned that Bateman Island is closed indefinitely. It's not clear yet how the fire started, but we do know in these extremely dry conditions at the end of summer, it really doesn't take much to start this large of a fire. Wildfires on Bateman Island are also one of the concerns that people have raised when it comes to discussions of breaching the causeway, because that's how firefighters were getting to the island today. And continuing coverage tonight of the Benzel fire in Umatilla County. Early this morning, officials said the fire was 99% contained and fire crews were able to start heading home. A couple of hours later, the Umatilla County Sheriff's Office announced evacuation levels had been lowered to level 1, be ready. Officials say the Bureau of Indian Affairs Umatilla Agency will have people patrolling the perimeter of the fire just in case. Now let's talk about your forecast. As I mentioned, it's very sunny, very dry out there. And Stacy, I was out there in shooting that fire. It was really hot out there as well.
That's right. Other than the rain we had a couple weeks ago, it's been very dry this summer. And again, temperatures have been nice today, a little bit warmer than we were yesterday. 84 right now, Walla Walla, Tri-Cities, 81 in Yakima, 75 right now in Ellensburg. Now, winds are going to be a concern tonight, not in our region. It's been pretty calm. Winds are about 6 miles an hour now in the Tri-Cities. That's good. But we are seeing gusty winds down the Columbia River Gorge and in the mountain gaps in the Kittitas Valley. We'll continue to see that. Let's take a look at our Dust Devil Agisa sky cam tonight. Beautiful night, nice clear skies. Again, humidity at 20%. So again, not super dry like when we get into red flag warnings. Our sunset tonight at 7:26. Planning your evening out tonight. Again, nice weather. Enjoy the outdoors. 72 by 8 in Yakima. Beautiful there, down to 68 at 8 o'clock tonight. And in Walla Walla, gorgeous there, 68 degrees by 8 p.m. So what's on the horizon? Clear and calm tonight. Breezy, Cascade Gaps, Kittitas Valley. Seasonal early fall weather is what they're calling that. But we do have a nice little weekend warm up. I'll tell you just how warm it's going to get in your full weather forecast. Alyssa.
Thanks, Stacy. Washington gas prices were the highest in the nation earlier this year, and we're still sitting at second highest after California, while Oregon in the middle is averaging 30 cents less per gallon than Washington is. So what's happening? Some companies are blaming Washington's Climate Commitment Act, which requires businesses to buy credits at auction if they create more than a certain amount of carbon. Well, now Washington Trucking Association and State Farm Bureau say they're planning to take the Department of Ecology to court, trying to block that law and end the fuel surcharge.
Went to Oregon, came back up. I put 215 gallons in at $5.09 a gallon. Cost me $1,086. What is this actually fixing? To me, it's absolutely nothing. It's a money grab.
And those costs, they just keep getting passed on to all of a sudden till the end of the line. And unfortunately, the farmer, most of the times, are the people at the end of the line.
Now, farmers are supposed to be exempt from the surcharge, but some say they're stuck paying it anyway because there's no way to track exempt fuels, so the cost gets passed on to everyone the same. For his part, Governor Jay Inslee insists that fuel companies need to be paying for carbon credits out of their profits, not passing that cost along to drivers. He's calling on the legislature to put new transparency requirements on oil companies when lawmakers reconvene next year. AAA reports that Washington drivers are paying over $5 per gallon on average, although Benton, Franklin, and Yakima counties are just under that mark. Well, after Labor Day, gas prices usually drop as Americans travel less and companies can switch to a cheaper blend of fuel. This year, though, analysts with Gas Buddy say we might not see that typical trend.
Hurricane season that is in its prime, certainly a very active one, so we'll have to keep an eye out for any threats, keeping in mind that much of the nation's refining capacity is in the Texas and Louisiana area of the Gulf. Hurricanes can disrupt the flow of refined products. Expectations are now that the Saudis and Russians are cutting oil production for the next several months. If there's any deviation to that, any surprises from OPEC, we could also see some of that expected improvement offset.
Now, last month, the Department of Energy predicted that the United States would set new records for oil production this year. But today, the Department of the Interior canceled 7 oil and gas leases in Alaska, saying they were purchased in a legally flawed sale in January of 2021. And it's not just fuel prices. We could see the price of cars and trucks go even higher if the United Auto Workers go on strike. Contracts with the big three, General Motors, Stellantis, and Ford, expire next week. And the United Auto Workers are calling for a significant raise, a shorter work week without any pay cuts, and bringing back pensions. Now, officials say that they don't want to strike, but they are prepared to go on strike if needed. Union officials say they are making progress with Ford and General Motors, but that Stellantis hasn't given a counteroffer to their demands. And tonight we're tracking the 4th criminal case against former President Trump. A total of 19 people are facing charges accused of trying to overturn Georgia's results in the 2020 presidential election. Now the question is, will they all go to trial together? And if so, when? ABC's Justin Finch has the latest.
In Atlanta, for the first time, a proceeding related to the Georgia racketeering indictment against former President Donald Trump and 18 other defendants televised live. After hearing arguments from lawyers for former Trump attorneys Kenneth Chesebro and Sidney Powell requesting their cases be severed from each other, and the 17 other defendants accused of conspiring to unlawfully overturn Trump's 2020 election loss in Georgia, Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee quickly deciding the two will be tried together.
So I'll deny Mr. Chesebro's motion to sever from Ms. Powell. I'll deny in part Ms. Powell's motion to sever from Mr. Chesebro.
Chesebro and Powell's lawyers making their arguments on why their trials should be separated.
He's never met Ms. Powell. He's never emailed, texted, or called her.
Ms. Powell had nothing to do with most of it.
Judge McAfee asking prosecutors to provide a good faith estimate on how long it would take them to present a case involving 19 co-defendants.
The state's position is that whether we have one trial or 19 trials, the evidence is exactly the same.
Powell, Chesebro, and Trump are among at least 6 co-defendants seeking to sever their cases. Both Powell and Chesebro also filing speedy trial requests, with Judge McAfee setting an October 23rd trial date for Chesebro. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis filed a motion appealing for a joint trial for all 19 co-defendants on that October date. Today's pretrial hearing happening the same day all 19 co-defendants were set for arraignment. All pleaded not guilty and waived their rights to appear in person. Trump has long denied any wrongdoing and says the charges are politically motivated. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
We are seeing more and more police departments shutting down. The Associated Press reports within the past 2 years, at least a dozen small towns have just dissolved their police departments. These are places like the town of Republic in eastern Washington, which opted to close its police department in 2020 and rely on Ferry County for law enforcement instead. Now, at the time, the department had only one officer, Lauren Culp, who you may remember in 2020 was in the midst of a gubernatorial campaign that required him to spend a lot of time away from Republic. But the Associated Press reports a small community in Minnesota just lost its police department within the past few days. Officials in Goodhue, which is about an hour outside Minneapolis, say they had struggled for years to hire officers because they simply couldn't pay enough to draw people in. The Goodhue County Sheriff's Office was able to step in, but says this problem is getting worse.
It's scary because we are not replacing those people. We are, like I told you, we are robbing Peter to pay Paul, and we're not alone. We had an intern, and he is in a class of 13 at Rochester Technical College. 13. There used to be 40 to 50 kids going to school for that. Now I know for a fact, it's just in our Southeast district, there's more than 13 openings.
The Police Executive Research Forum says officers are resigning or retiring at what they call a tremendous rate, and they say fewer people are applying to join law enforcement. Well, shakeup is coming to Pasco City Council. Mayor Pro Tem Craig Maloney says he's resigning as of October 2nd. Maloney was elected to the city council in 2017. He says after nearly 6 years, he needs to focus on his family and his career. Now, his resignation means that the Pasco City Council will appoint someone to fill Maloney's seat, representing District 6. That process is expected to take place over the next several weeks. And a follow-up tonight, the high school assistant football coach, who went all the way to the Supreme Court to get his job back and to continue public prayers on the field, has now resigned. The Kitsap Sun reports Joe Kennedy sent a resignation letter to the Bremerton School District. He got his job back after a 7-year legal battle, but attended just one game as assistant coach. Now let's talk about that first alert forecast. Taking a look outside, it is a beautiful evening. We are talking about some warmer temperatures headed towards the weekend. Stacey Lee is tracking that for us coming up in just a moment. And still ahead on Apple Valley News Now at 5, we'll introduce you to a Kennewick teen already making waves and potentially set to represent our entire region.
We're all here to talk about her.
Hello. We built her so we could get a family plan.
Well, with US Cellular, it's just $19.99 per line.
I guess we don't need that fourth line.
This is awkward.
US Cellular, built for us.
Every 15 minutes, someone is involved in a semi-truck collision in the U.S. Whatever the cause, big trucks mean big crashes, resulting in serious, even fatal injuries, large medical bills, and loss of wages. If you've been injured in a crash with a big rig, call Abeta Nelson Injury Law today. We've handled the most big truck accidents in Central Washington over the last 40 years, recovering millions for our clients. Abeta Nelson, we take your injury personally.
Tonight, record-setting heat blankets much of the country as a new storm strengthens in the Atlantic. What you need to know. More Americans turn to the most-watched newscast on television. World News Tonight with David Muir.
Stop thinking, let things happen, and be the ball. Better yet, see the ball with K2 Vision RLE. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
Are your closets overflowing? Is your garage filled with things you no longer need? When you donate to Goodwill, you're not just clearing space in your home, you're creating opportunities for those in need. By donating or shopping at Goodwill, you actively contribute to local employment opportunities and help individuals find work within your community. So donate your gently used items to Goodwill, and together we can transform lives and build a brighter future. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
Did you see this? It says most people are going to need long-term care that health insurance and Medicare won't cover.
I saw that, and it got me thinking, if I need to pay for home modifications or in-home care, I am not prepared. Are you?
Not really. I mean, whatever happens, I just want to know that I'll be able to get care and stay in my own home as I age.
Right? I want that too. So,
Find out how the WA Cares Fund can help.
Our phones keep us constantly connected.
Please switch to airplane mode.
But what if they helped us actually connect?
What would I give?
Introducing US Mode. Set your phone for human connection at US Cellular.
Operation Best Friend on Good Morning Northwest, sponsored by Windermere Group 1.
Welcome back. A Kennewick teenager is taking on a big task next week. 18-year-old Delilah Fuentes is headed to Beverly Hills, California to represent the Boys and Girls Clubs of Benton and Franklin counties. Right now, Delilah is the Washington Youth of the Year. She currently represents the state. She could go on to represent the Pacific region. Each year, thousands of high schoolers write essays and speeches explaining how the Boys and Girls program has impacted their lives and how they plan to impact their communities as youth leaders. Delilah says the Boys and Girls Clubs of Benton and Franklin counties have turned her from being shy and introverted into a confident person.
It's just a spark of me found that leadership, and they've helped me grow out of my shell where I'm confident to speak now, because before I was really shy. And they really positively impacted me where I'm not sad all the time. I'm really happy about things, and I really want to make that positive impact to others as well.
So again, Delilah will represent Washington in next week's Pacific Youth of the Year celebration, along with 8 other club teens from states across the region. The 2024 Pacific Youth of the Year will be selected next Thursday. Then 6 regional teams will advance to the National Youth of the Year celebration, where one person will be named the Boys and Girls Clubs of America's National Teen Spokesperson. A new report from the EU's Climate Change Service says this summer was the hottest ever recorded on the planet. And while we're getting a break in eastern Washington, much of the country is still sweltering. Gabe Cohen reports that's impacting students as they're trying to head back to school.
As scorching heat bakes Baltimore, these kindergartners and first graders are heading home from school hours early.
Because it's too hot.
The rest of the students are staying home entirely, taking virtual classes all week because the school has no central air conditioning. 15 Baltimore schools are on similar heat schedules this week because they lack air conditioning, in some cases delivering cooling units to classrooms.
I can already feel this place heating up.
Yes, imagine trying to learn in an environment where it's this warm.
Andre Riley, a district spokesperson, took us inside these empty classrooms.
It's better to shift them to an environment where we can have the focus again beyond teaching and learning as opposed to it's hot.
This widespread heat wave is closing classrooms from Connecticut to Wisconsin. In Pittsburgh, dozens of schools are going virtual. In Philadelphia, 74 schools dismissed early on the first day. Near Detroit, an entire district shut down Tuesday because of the heat. Parents at this D.C. school are upset that kids are in class despite a broken cooling system.
We know how hot it's going to be every summer, so the fact that they aren't really prepared for these kinds of incidents is a little ridiculous.
A 2020 government report estimated 41% of public school districts need to update or replace HVAC systems in at least half their schools, 36,000 in all. Many of them spent COVID relief dollars on HVAC improvements, but districts not known for sweltering September temps are now struggling.
How big of a setback can this be for students to have several heat days in a row at the start of school?
Definitely not preferable. You don't want to send students home early or transition them to a virtual environment for a long period of time.
At a time when kids are still recovering from pandemic learning loss, many are headed right back home.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee.
Well, another gorgeous day in the books. The only big thing we're tracking tonight are some breezy and gusty winds in our Mountain Gap areas in the Kittitas Valley and through the Yakima Valley. A little bit breezy there tonight, as well as the Columbia River Gorge all the way through into Hermiston and Pendleton. Lighter winds elsewhere, but that's really the major impact we're seeing tonight weather-wise. And again, those winds will start to decrease as we get to our Thursday evening. Again, pretty light, but you'll see those winds picking up again in those Mountain Gap areas. That does make it dangerous and potentially the potential for rapid fire spread if any fires start. But again, winds again tonight, not too bad. But again, you'll see those breezy and gusty winds pick up again in the morning here in the Tri-Cities and then eventually start to decrease as the day moves along. So again, we want to be fire-wise in those areas. Satellite and radar, we had a little bit of a system move through the center part of the state, bringing a few showers north of the Columbia Basin Tri-Cities. Most of that has moved on out of the area. A few clouds still lingering around, but not too bad. Again, we're looking at dry conditions, and then there's that little band of showers. It kind of came through the Moses Lake area and went to the east. So let's take a look at Futurecast. We are tracking maybe a very slight chance of some potential thunderstorms in the Walla Walla or the Blue Mountain area. Now, a few of those storms start to develop on Thursday evening, and again, they're pretty well south of Pendleton, but just around Walla Walla, mainly sticking to the Blue Mountains. Very slight chance, 10 to 20%. And again, as the Futurecast gets a little closer, that may change altogether. But that's all we're seeing as far as moisture goes for the next 48 hours or so. Looking good out there. Peek outside our Dust Devil Giza sky cam, 84 degrees right now, and looks like we're getting ready for another game. Great night for that, by the way. Winds are light at 6 miles an hour. Our sunset at 7:26. Let's take a look at our temperatures overnight tonight. Again, beautiful evening out there. A little on the cool side. Look at those. lows. A few of us in the 40s tonight, like Sunnyside, Ellensburg, and Cle Elum. 50 overnight tonight in Yakima. Moving into the Columbia Basin area, Prosser at 49. We'll see the 50s for Hanford, Tri-Cities, and Hermiston. Connell coming in at 49 degrees. Moving over to the east and to the foothills of the Blues, 50 degrees for Dayton tonight. Warmer in Walla Walla, Milton, Freewater, and a cool 49 in Pendleton. So looking good, pretty quiet out there. Temperatures tomorrow similar to today. We are hitting about 84 in the Tri-Cities. We'll see 82, 80 in Yakima. Again, nice day overall. Let's plan your day out the door to see what you need. Probably a light coat again for the kids at the bus stop, peeling those off by noon, and then those temperatures in the 80s at 4. Another lovely day. Here's your short-term forecast for Yakima. Again, beautiful temperatures. Now here comes that warm up. We jump up 5 degrees on Saturday, so a little bit above average, but this is pretty seasonal. We've been calling this early fall-like weather, and then we start to see that jump up in temperatures Friday in the Columbia Basin, close to 90 degrees on Saturday. So it looks like it's going to be a lovely weekend for us as well. Temperatures just slightly cooler in Walla Walla, but a nice little jump up again on Saturday. So warmer temperatures on the way. We're calling it early fall-like conditions, but a little tiny warm up for the weekend, and then we're going to start heading back down. I'll show you all of that in our 7-day planning forecast coming up. Alyssa?
Thanks, Stacy. Now, all of that sunshine still means extremely dry conditions tonight. We are tracking a large fire that has now shut down Bateman Island indefinitely. We'll have an update for you coming up tonight on Apple Valley News Now at 6.
Portions of Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Check out Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds, your local Old Hickory Sheds dealer. We sell and deliver a wide variety of buildings, including storage sheds, lofted barns, playhouses, cabins, and more. Come visit us at 3680 West Van Giesen Street in West Richland.
Now is the time for a new bath from Bathfitter. Every Bathfitter bath is installed quickly, safely, and beautifully with a lifetime warranty. Go from old to new, from worn to wow. The beautiful bath you've always wanted, done right, installed by one expert technician, all in one day. We've been creating moments like these for 35 years, and we're here to help you get started. Book your free virtual or in-home design consultation today.
Watch me. Watch my first step turn to leaps and bounds. Watch me play carefree while the world goes round. Listen to me join in with every girl and boy. Screams of happiness, limitless joy. Watch me run through the grass and sand. They said I would, now I can. Watch me. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
When you need legal help, trust Quantum Legal. We're here for you in times of trouble, whether you need assistance with criminal defense, personal injury, or have been injured on the job. Law is a complicated matter. Our team of experts will fight for you and help you find the best solution for your situation. Don't let life's challenges get the best of you. We're here to help. Call us today at 509-783-5551 or visit our website at quantumlegal.com.
Has your dishwasher let you down lately?
Fred's has closeout Bosch dishwashers on sale. Fred's also has models you won't find at the box stores.
Bosch means quality and innovation. New Bosch dishwashers quietly deliver sparkling dishes.
With features like third rack and a new drying system that even dries plastic, Bosch raises the bar for dishwashers.
Fred's has more dishwashers in stock than you'll see anywhere. Come in and see us today.
When it comes to your hair, ingredients matter. That's why Herbal Essences is packed with naturally derived plant ingredients you love. And none of the stuff you don't. Our sulfate-free collections smell incredible. And leave your hair touchably soft and smooth. Herbal Essences.
Welcome back. This summer, Apple Valley News Now started Operation Best Friend. We're working to connect animals from local shelters with their forever families. And you can watch the segment every Wednesday on Good Morning Northwest. This week's best friend was a leggy Chihuahua named Chris. Elizabeth Norman said a Good Samaritan rescued Chris and his sister from the streets.
This is Chris. He's a 5-month-old Chihuahua mix. He was found on the street with his sister Christina. He is looking for his forever home. He is a fantastic dog. He's been very friendly with humans. He's great with other dogs, and he's been good with cats. He is currently calling the Pitbull Pen home, and his adoption fee is $450. He will be neutered, fully vaccinated, microchipped, and dewormed.
That's a pretty big guy for a Chihuahua. Now, again, he's currently up for adoption at the Pitbull Pen that is in Benton City. If you do adopt a pet that's featured on Operation Best Friend, you'll also get a $50 gift card to Paws Natural Pet Emporium. And it is good weather for walking the pets. We'll have a final look at your forecast when we come back. Still ahead tonight, World News Tonight is tracking the racketeering case against former President Trump and 18 other people accused of trying to overturn Georgia's 2020 election results. That's coming up tonight at 5:30.
Portions of Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
If you need workers' compensation because you were injured at work, let us go to work to get you benefits.
Call 509-584-4411 for a free consultation. Bothwell and Hamill.
There's 1 week left to shop our special Buy Mart membership savings book, packed with 16 pages of store-wide savings. Here in Central Washington, we've saturated your markets so non-members can see what they're missing. Join us now for a one-time $5 lifetime membership fee and get big savings. From pantry essentials to sporting goods to electronics and more. There's 1 week left to save at Buy Mart, your Northwest employee-owned membership store.
Stop thinking, let things happen, and be the ball. Better yet, see the ball with K2 Vision RLE. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
Who is Culligan? Your local water experts since 1936. The world's most efficient water softener. Safer drinking water in every glass. Convenient, reliable delivery. Industry-leading technology. Here for every water worry.
If your family is anything like this, you need quality floors from Empire today. Like durable carpet with built-in stain and pet protection. Tough wood laminate with a scratch-resistant finish. Or waterproof vinyl plank floors. Even bath time is no match. And when life happens, Empire backs every floor with great warranties. Quality floors you can count on.
Save $350 on your next project. Call this special number now.
1-844-254-8536.
Okay, who here has reached peak fall?
Peak what?
Peak fall!
I am wearing plaid.
And I'm wearing a cardigan.
I guess I am eating snickerdoodle cookie dough.
And I am eating a pumpkin pie blizzard.
The new DQ Fall Blizzard menu has reached peak fall. Pumpkin pie, snickerdoodle cookie dough, and more. They are back!
I just love fall.
Apparently we all do.
Oh, they did it! Peak fall achieved! DQ, happy tastes good.
Did you know Astria Health has a board-certified plastic surgeon offering cosmetic and reconstructive procedures? If you're struggling with your appearance or want to repair damage, Astria offers several treatments and procedures, including surgical options. Dr. Bronson offers breast procedures, abdominoplasty, liposuction, facelifts, and more. Ask your primary care provider for a referral to Dr. Bronson. Astria Health, exceptional rural health care close to home.
If you need Social Security disability because you are unable to work, let us go to work to get you benefits.
Call 509-584-4411. Bothwell and Hamill. There's no fee unless you win.
Well, check this out. Pumpkin is everywhere this time of year. We are keeping you updated. It's also at Wendy's now. They are rolling out a new pumpkin flavored Frosty starting next Tuesday. This will be their 6th limited edition seasonal flavor that Wendy's has tried out. And you'll also be able to get the same flavor as cold brew coffee. Always happy to see another pumpkin spice something.
I saw pumpkin spice Cheerios today at the store.
There you go. You could start to end your day.
Right? Pumpkin spice milk. You know, it's all there. Let's take a look again. They're calling this early fall like weather because it's been beautiful, and this is typically what early fall is like, so I'm enjoying it. This is what we look like the next 7 days in Yakima. Beautiful weather there. Tri-Cities gorgeous too. Now, Do note we do have that mini warm up for the weekend, so one last taste of summer there. Then we're right back into early fall-like conditions moving into next week. And in Walla Walla, gorgeous there with a mini warm-up for the weekend. Temperatures cooling down. Might see a little cloud cover move in. We're watching that for maybe potential rain, but right now not looking promising. So
looks great to me. Lots of sunshine.
Lots of sunshine.
Thanks, Stacey. Thank you so much for watching. World News Tonight with David Muir is next. We're back tonight at 6, and you can find the latest anytime on our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com.